What is going on, everyone? Hello and welcome to another NASCAR Racing 2003 live stream. It has been a while. How is everyone doing? I apologize for dropping off the face of the earth for the last few weeks. That wasn't me. For the last few weeks, I've been really busy with work, and one of the jobs I do, brain fart, wedding videography. I film weddings as one of my part-time jobs, and so in order to do that, I kind of had to tear down my studio, since half of my videography gear is what I use to stream. So just work, and more work. Took the last few weeks away from me, but I am back, and completely randomly, but it is still a popular requested one, I'm going to be attempting to recreate Rusty Wallace's 1993 Daytona 500 flip when I forgot who and Michael Waltrip got collected and clipped Rusty, sending him tumbling down the backstretch. Sorry guys, I'm a little rusty, no pun intended, because it's been a couple weeks since my last stream. Alright. That's right. I do this. We're going to look at the wreck I'm going to be attempting to recreate.
How this field is deployed, how they shuffle at this 190 mile per hour speed. All of these cars fighting to win the 500. Look at Jarrett in the green car. He jumped down the inside.
So going on the backstretch, the number 66 car gets into Michael Waltrip. He clips Rusty and he starts tumbling.
Rusty Wallace, 20 feet in the air, spinning, crashing.
Well, I'll tell you, when they're running that
What a ride.
jockeying around position, you just know that things like that
Why do you always pick right now to want to jump up on my lap? Literally, the moment I start streaming. You hate my guts every single moment otherwise. Alright, so the tricky part about this one is gonna be getting the start of the flip the right way, because I might have to make it a little more intentional looking than in real life, because the other cars got together and hooked Rusty, unless I have no idea how I would turn Rusty over in the manner that he did here if I made Rusty the AI car and I was Michael Waltrip, for example. But I think I'm just going to start by being Rusty Wallace for now, the number 2 car. Try to get somewhere near the 66 or the 30, and to see if I can just slowly merge into the car and get clipped and start rolling. I already turned the grip up and adjusted a few other settings for the track I'm going to be using. And especially if I need to change anything else, I'll show you guys what I've all changed. Excuse me. Jesus. How he was okay after both this one and the ride he took at Talladega later this year is beyond me. This is before the Hans device. This is before the safety harnesses were nearly as advanced. This is before they even had full-faced helmets. Yeah, he's tumbling around in there. His head's probably whiplashing severely inside that car. Scary.
the roll cage held up in that car.
Yeah, he got tagged. You can see it from the blimp.
I love that blimp shot.
Across on the 30 and catches the number 2.
Oh, wait.
Frightening crash.
Man, he was in the air for a long time right there.
Yeah, they said the minute the car stopped, Rusty hollered, "I'm okay." So he knew he needed to call those guys.
He's walked to the ambulance.
We're in Jeff Bodine's car now as he goes through there. He said, I got by that
Boom.
septic that
Windshield. Was that?
Wallace's car hit him right in the
Oh, Jeff Bodine.
Looked like the front windshield out of Rusty's car went
It was the
right
windshield that hit. Alright, so enough replays. Let's get back into the game. It's been a while. Let's get into player info, make sure we're using the right car. 1993 Rusty Wallace. You're still using Ricky Bobby as a name, that's fine. Single race, we're going to be using the 1993 Cup Daytona 1990. Everything else is usually around what we have it set at. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so we're gonna get up to near the front of the field on the inside line. And wait a couple laps to get up to speed. Alright, I don't see the 66 or the 30. I saw the 30 of Michael Waltrip a few cars back. But we're just going to be using one of the cars that's near up here to try to flip over. I have the grip for both asphalt and concrete set to about 2. I didn't really do too much else. I turned the track temperature down just a little bit, but it's still like 20 or 30. Just to try to get a little faster speed and acceleration without actually turning the restrictor plates off. Let's go on board for the warm-up. Right behind the man in black, the Intimidator. So I'll wait probably a lap to get up to speed and then do it on the... Try to have a car clip me on the back stretch of lap 2. Once we're fully up to speed. So as you can see, the restrictor plates are on by our slow acceleration. So I want it to be about double file most of the way back, which it looks like we have right now. We're down on the infield for some reason. I'm going back into chase view. So I'm like right around here. Oops, if I can stay off the apron. You can always tell when you have the grip turned up, at least when I'm driving, because I always have a tendency to drift down to the apron. So I'm not used to the grip being that high. Actually, gonna... Because I know 2 cars got together on the outside line. Shoot. Sorry, Ken Trader. And clips him, and that's what sends him to start flipping. I'll actually wait one more lap. We'll try to get in better position. Try to pass Wally Dolan back here. Back. Whoa. See, I'm trying to get back on the inside line. I don't know why I went to the outside. Oops. Well, that's a heck of a way to start it. And another caution for debris as I literally just pierced the concrete wall from how hard of an angle I hit it at. I was trying to tuck in front of Bobby Labonte there. Was that Bobby Labonte or was that Jarrett in the car at this point? Yeah, the red flag, no kidding. Stuck in the wall. How many times are you going to see that? Alright, let's try that again. That was an interesting one. Completely accidental, too. The accidental wrecks in this game are always the most interesting. I think it was because I hit the wall right when that section of the wall gets like way higher. So I don't know if there's something in Sandbox to where 2 textures met right there that I basically went right through and hit at the perfect angle. I believe Dale was leading at the time of the replay. And in the last attempt, he was able to get up to the lead like in a lap and a half. So that's, if he can do that again, that'll be a nice little bonus detail. Considering I don't see the 30. Well, actually, Michael Waltrip's about 2 lanes back on the outside line for me right now, if you can see that bright yellow car behind Ernie Irvan. Shoot. Yeah, that one. Alright, I accidentally messed up the shifts, but that might work out if I can catch back up to Michael Waltrip and gain a little bit of ground back towards the front by the time we get around to the backstretch next lap. I'm so used with all these wrecks and reenactment attempts to having the restrictor plates off. So I kept messing up these shifts by doing them way too late. Just try to get back towards the front. Yeah, I bunched up the field by missing those shifts. And they're like all spread out now. God damn it, this attempt's already ruined. Except Michael Waltrip's actually near the front now, and I am not up there. I tried. Didn't work, but I tried. Oh. I think I might need to restart my computer. Seems like it's running a little slow. We're not quite at 60 frames per second right now. I just tried bumping those cars so maybe one of them would come back and clip me. We have the 8 tumbling right there. Stealing my thunder. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, that's the tricky one with these rollovers that's always caused from another car getting out of control first, is just that, trying to count on the AI spinning me, which they're basically not going to do, or trying to make it look accidental enough to where it could pass off as a reenactment, but it's still, no matter how you do it, is going to look kind of intentional. So let's try this again, and this time not miss the shifts. There we go. Actually gave Dale a little push right there too, but he had to tuck back in behind Petty. Try giving him another push. That one actually worked. I'm actually trying to slow down on purpose just a little bit, just so I can try to get Michael Waltrip right alongside of me. This yellow car coming up right here on the middle lane. There we go. Alright, so we're both near the front. In like the 3rd or 4th row. How amazing would that be if Waltrip just turns down into me, but I know it's not going to happen. Alright, so I have no idea how, but I'm going to try somehow getting clipped by Waltrip right here and turning over. That didn't work. That was stupid on my part. That was stupid on my part. Yeah, it's quite a warm day. Let's go cool off in Lake Lloyd. Oh, I didn't even make it in.
We got big time.
Alright, next. That was stupid. See, that's the tricky part with this one, because I need... Because I can't have Michael Waltrip or the other car to the inside of me, because then the setup is kind of wrong. But I need to start tumbling, but kind of drift a little bit towards the inside, because he starts flipping on the pavement, but by the time he's done, he's on the grass a little bit. But at the same time, if I have the AI car on the outside of me, if I try to turn into them just a little bit by drifting up the track, then the momentum is going to take me into the outside wall and not into the grass when I'm flipping like I need to. That's the tricky part about these ones where it's caused from other cars getting out of control first. Like Mark Martin in 2009 at Talladega, like Kurt Busch 2013. Those cars where other ones are sideways and they're trying to squeeze through and they just get clipped and start rolling. Those are the tricky ones to try to recreate. Especially in a huge pack like this, because everyone suggests for those to try them online, which would be feasible, but no way I'm going to get a pack of 30, 40 people to cooperate exactly how I need them to, let alone have a good connection, etc. Alright, Michael Waltrip's nowhere to be seen, but doesn't matter. So we got 3 wide here for the lead. Pushing Dale to the lead. I know Rusty was a couple rows back on the inside line. Except should be double file. Not triple file, triple wide. 3 wide like we are right now. Might have to turn the grip up a little bit too. I have an idea. I'm gonna let a few cars pass me, get alongside of me on the outside line. Coming out of 2, I'm gonna try nudging someone, bumping into someone, spinning someone. Just something to try to cause some contact to where hopefully another car might get clipped and come down and hit me. Like maybe Kenny Wallace. Some brotherly rivalry right here. I'll try nudging him and see if he causes a little spill that ends up clipping me again. Nope. Nope. Yeah, that was stupid. No yellow. Now we can cause a wrong way wreck.
You alright? Looks like you got some kind of engine problem there. You've been disqualified for reckless driving.
Alright, after this I'm probably going to try adjusting the track grip a little bit, because I need to turn over once I get sideways.
Here comes the leader.
I missed almost everyone. Alright, that's not even worth a replay. Alright. Here I am in the track INI file. Gonna go down to asphalt grip. So 2.37 for both of them. Maybe that'll be better. Save. 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 Triple save it. Alright, now I'm loading the game back up. Yeah, if worse comes to worse, I might do an attempt where I'm Michael Waltrip. I turn the chassis grip up and hope to kind of come down and hit Rusty at just the right spot to kind of launch him into the air sideways and have him start tumbling. And hopefully go into the grass, but we'll keep trying what I'm doing first. That's plan B. We're still on plan A. Ryan Fisher's 2007 Gateway Flip. The car you painted, that is on my to-do list, good sir. Thank you for asking me and reminding me. I got so many on the to-do list right now. Alright, let's see if turning the grip up to around 2.4 does anything. Let's see if Michael and or the 66 is a little bit closer to the front this time. Nope, here's Michael. Nope, that's not him. Oh yeah, there he is. Sweet. Third in line on the outside line. Except Earnhardt ain't in this one. Darn it. It was Dale Jarrett in the 18 at this time. Alright, like last time, I'm gonna go a lap and a half and try the attempt on the backstretch of the second lap. We do have Michael Waltrip right here. So like I said, plan B is if enough of these fail, is to switch over to B in Waltrip's car, turning the chassis grip up for the cars, and try to come down as Waltrip, hit Rusty Wallace in approximately the same spot as I am in right now in the pack. Hopefully hit him in the right spot to get him airborne and send him over. I know it wouldn't quite be the right way. That's probably the next best option I have if I can't get this to work. I'll try doing what I suggested last time with Michael Waltrip. I'll try like nudging into him and maybe he kind of overcorrects and comes back into me. Something along those lines. Shoot, stay off the apron. Nope, that didn't work. I'm just going into the lake instead. That was an interesting wreck. Never flipped over.
Drivers, start your engines.
Yeah, maybe in like 15 minutes, if I don't get a close attempt between now and then, I'll try switching to being Michael Waltrip. Spinning too early. Alright, I'll wait another second or two on the backstretch. It was shortly after they came out of turn 2. It wasn't too far down the backstretch, but yeah, I'll try waiting a tad longer this time. Gonna get right alongside of Michael Waltrip. There we go. I'll never get used to the ridiculously heightened grip when using the wheel. let the 8 car get in front of me like I think he's gonna do. Or maybe not. There he goes. Alright, so I got Michael Waltrip next to me. Who knows, maybe I can get one of those cars behind us to clip him and spin him into me. Nope. Nope. Didn't flip the right way. Nope. I might have to be Michael Waltrip after all. That looks kind of like Dale Jr.'s 2010 flip for a while, especially with how he initially rolled over. Yeah, the first part of this right here definitely has 2010 Junior similarities. Alright, next.
Drivers, start your engines.
So like I said, if I can't get a better attempt within 10 minutes, I'll try switching cars, being Michael Waltrip, turning the chassis grip up and seeing if I can get Rusty Wallace as the AI to launch into the air and tumble like he needs to. Because in that way I'll kind of be able to come down and clip him as Michael Waltrip a lot more accurately as to what happened in real life. And I have been vaguely following NASCAR, obviously. I saw that Jimmy Johnson won at Dover. Congrats to him, as much as I hate to say that. But yeah, I've had very little free time to focus on racing, unfortunately. With all the weddings I've been doing, my regular job, my other job, personal and family stuff. It's all kind of stacking up at once. Waltrip get along the outside of me. Might block Irvin. That's right, there's like 2 or 3 Irvins in the 1993 car set. Or is it someone else in the 4 at this point? This is after Davey Allison had his accident. Aww.
The yellow flag is out. There's 2 debris on the track.
I finally rolled over after hitting that bank going into the lake. I was trying to see if I could have him clip me like that and send me into the infield, but it didn't quite work how I thought it would. Instead, I went for a trip to the beach. Alright, next attempt.
Drivers, start your engines.
But if I started tumbling when I hit the grass right there, that wouldn't have necessarily been half bad, depending on how the tumble ended up. Oh yeah, the Indy 500 happened too. Remember see that crazy wreck with was that Will Powers? Almost flying into the catch fence. That was scary. Then of course everyone complaining that IndyCar needs open cockpits, which it doesn't. Just keep it the way it is, keep finding safety improvements, but no open cockpit. And congrats to Takuma Sato for winning the 500. Scott Dixon, not Will Power. Why the hell did I say Will Power? I meant Scott Dixon. Jesus. I knew I messed up that name. That's why I hesitated when I said that. It's like I said, guys, I've been really busy. I've mainly been only able to see highlights of racing stuff in the last few weeks. Yeah, Scott Dixon, not Will Power. I knew it was a simple one-syllable first name and then a two-syllable last name like that. Scott Dixon, Will Power. Oh, we got a wreck. We got a wreck behind us. Of course they wreck. The AI wrecks.
Entering the tri-oval. The pace cars exiting the tri-oval. Don't go over 70. Keep it under 5,000 in seconds. Okay, we're under caution. Catch up to the end of the pacing line. Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
What happened behind me? There's a big pileup I saw. The 28 got sideways. Yeah, how about Helio Castroneves going underneath Scott Dixon while he was 20 feet in the air, hitting that bump, going airborne, and still finishing second. The big one. Oh, well, there's the number 66. Who is that? Derek Cope. The 14 and the 28 got together and started that.
Car.
All right, a couple more tries, and I will switch to Michael Waltrip.
Start your engines.
Alright, yeah, so I said 2 more tries and I will switch to being Mikey. Sebastian Bourdais, is that the guy whose steering went out in turn 2 and hit almost head on? What, a fractured hip or something? Yeah, I saw that too. You do not mess around with Indy. I'm pretty sure, not counting the Circuit de la Sarthe, or however it's pronounced, the 24-hour Le Mans venue, with that horrible tragedy that happened back in the 50s. If you don't count that, I'm pretty sure Indianapolis Motor Speedway has had the most fatalities of any track in the world. People should go ghost hunting there sometime. Alright, where's Waltrip? Darn it, he's stuck up there in the outside line. They're 3 wide. Oh, here he comes. He's getting closer. Trying to just get in front of Ricky Rudd so I can have Waltrip be alongside of me. What if Rudd collects Waltrip and he comes down into me? That would be amazing, but I know that's not going to happen. Oh. See, that's kind of what I was going for. Because I nudged him initially, and then he bounced off the wall and came back and clipped me and almost sent me over exactly how I needed to. I got up on 2 wheels. Oh, that was almost perfect. At least the start of it. Because, yeah, I clipped him into the outside wall. That's kind of what I was trying to do a few attempts ago. Then I was trying to have him come down, and exactly what happened right here. He got clipped and went into me and almost sent me over. I instead went into the outside wall hard instead. Well, that's what I was trying to do a few attempts ago when I was like nudging the cars next to me. That's what I had in mind before. Alright, so I'll try one more like that, and then I'll do what I said I was going to do and try switching to Waltrip. Yeah, Matt crafted another good example of a flip that started when another car got sideways and clipped the car that rolled over, sending them sideways or backwards really quickly. Another good example there. Who was the car that landed in Lake Lloyd? Which one? Dave Stacy, AJ Foyt. I know there's a couple others way back in the early days. Dave Stacy's I gotta try eventually too. I have no idea where I'd find a paint scheme because that was a relatively unknown driver for like the Goodies Dash or ARCA series back in like the early 90s. If someone can find me a Dave Stacy paint scheme, I would love to try that Lake Lloyd wreck at some point, but in the meantime I'm not sure one exists because I've tried looking extensively before. I haven't tried too recently, but I know I did a while ago. Tried looking for a while. Slowing down just a little bit just to get Mikey caught back up in the outside line as we're 4 wide, 3 wide. Mikey, he likes it. Oh, we have another wreck in turns 3 and 4. Hey, the 66 car sent me over.
Okay,
Perfect.
we're under caution. Catch up to the end of the pacing line.
Alright, so what happened behind me before that happened? Well, let's look at what happened behind me. Alright, who started this? There it is. Ooh, 55, Ted Musgrave is about to get drilled in the 11 upside down. Bill Elliott. What a hard wreck for him. There's no catch fence right there. It could have gone out of the ballpark. Alright, so I'm going to exit out of the game quickly, turn the chassis grip up in the track INI file, or add it if it's not already there. Come back into the game. And try as Michael Waltrip. Alright, I don't see... So we're going to add it. So for those of you wondering... Like in the Jeff Bodine truck crash attempt video, or Austin Dillon's, or any other one where I've tried to get the cars to launch off the air, launch into the air The AI cars, that is. This is how you do it. 7 track, chassis, grip, and turn it to like... For Austin Dillon's, when I wanted him to get launched completely and do a 360 in the air, I had that around 75. But this one, I'm trying to just get him up on 2 tires and just to start tumbling on his own. So I'll try like 25. See if that does anything. Save, save, save. Yes, I have to do it 3 times every time. 50% of the time it works. Every time. I'm not gonna lie to you, that smells like pure gasoline. Sorry. I'm quoting the wrong Will Ferrell movie. That isn't related to NASCAR. Alright, next. Oh, I forgot to switch cars. And this one will only work if Rusty Wallace is near the front. Alright, so we need 1993, number 30. Waltrip, 93, here we go. Confused for a second because I thought he was the he had Country Time sponsor, but that was a little bit before this, I believe, is when he had Country Time as a sponsor. A little bit before this era. Alright, let's see if Rusty is near the front. Not quite. He's like in the front third. I want him to be like in the top 5, top 10, so I'm going to turn Rusty Wallace's qualifying up a little bit. Which isn't too high to start with. So we're going to turn it up a little bit. I like how SuperSpeedway. He was always good at SuperSpeedways. He just crashed out and got super unlucky. He was the Mark Martin of SuperSpeedways.
Drivers, start your engines.
Alright, cool. He is in the top 5 and 4th to be exact. So that means he'll be in the 2nd row on the outside line. I'll try to get him to the inside line at some point. Look at this! We have the 66 car right here too. How perfectly did that work out? And Dale is in the lead, which I believe was who was leading at the time. Try not to touch Kyle Petty's or Rusty Wallace's tires, lest they go flying through the air. Right, so I need to get Rusty to the inside line at some point in the next lap. Hopefully just on his own. He's got a charge. Let's see if I can have him get in front of Kyle Petty and come down in front of him. Come on, Rusty. You idiot. You're supposed to come down in front of those other cars, not stay alongside them. Alright, so he's still to the outside of me, which is what I kind of not need, but I'll try this. Here we go. That didn't work. Michael Waltrip flips over for the zillionth time in his career. Alright, next. I'll try that again.
Drivers, start your engines.
So I need to get Rusty to the inside line. Coming out of turn 2, just entering the backstretch. Come down as if I'm getting clipped by another car. Hit his side/rear, hopefully at just the right spot to where the tires touch. Hopefully him kind of launches into the air sideways, or tips up sideways on 2 wheels and starts tumbling. Hopefully with the momentum to take him into the grass. A lot of things have to come together for this one to work. Cough, cough, cough. Actually, try getting in front of the 66. Yeah, this will probably work better if I start out on the inside line, because then I can clear a gap for him to come down into. And then find a way to get back to the outside line before we get back to the back stretch on the second lap. Like right here. Rusty should come down into the bottom line right there. Why is he not? Oh my god, you idiot! Instead, Morgan Shepherd does. And now I lost a lot of ground because I missed 4th by a couple seconds. Alright, Rusty, please go back to the inside line. He could not be more towards the outside if he was trying. Alright, there you go. Except I think I'm too far back at this point. I'm not even going to be able to catch him. Alright, we'll try one more lap. Slowing down on purpose so I could slingshot around him to the outside, going into these turns. Which I think I messed up again. I guess we're gonna have to wait one more lap. Should turn the difficulty down a little bit. Didn't even mean to do that. Well, I clipped Rusty. Oh, that was 3 minutes of fail. It was still an interesting wreck. It's not the one I needed. Next.
Drivers, start your engines.
Watching the replay. I thought for a second the way I clipped Rusty while I was flipping that he was going to start flipping too. Alright, try that again. Excuse me.
Whoa, 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 slow down. Stay behind the 51 car on the inside line. Get ready now. Going green. Get cars in. Stand by.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. Green flag. Trying to let him get down into the inside line right away. Which he should right here. There you go. He's starting to make his way down there-ish. There we go. What a concept. Oops. So this is what I wanted, right alongside Rusty. Oops. See, now that's what wasn't supposed to happen. And Michael Waltrip flips over for the zillionth and first time in his career. The reason Ricky Rudd, his car jumped up into the air like that is because our tires touched. And it jumped up in the air as the result of the chassis grip being turned up. That's what caused that. As I almost went out of the track there.
Drivers, start your engines.
Well, that failed a little bit. By the way, for the webcam, I'm using my other DSLR. And it seems like it's smoother. It seems like the webcam, the DSLR I'm using for a webcam now has slightly more frames per second. The other one I was using seemed a little more choppy. So I think I'm going to keep this one. And the one I'm using right now is actually my older DSLR, so it makes sense to have this one kind of just hooked up to my computer, so that way I have my newer one freed up for everyday photography and video and other use. I discovered that when I got my studio set back up after the wedding this past weekend. Which I still have to make a video at some point showing you guys my studio and all the different pieces. Oops. That's not going to end well. And like every other crash in the history of NASCAR, it ends with Michael Waltrip on his roof. Alright, that was my bad. Tried to squeeze into a hole that wasn't there.
Your engines.
Giggity. I'm just gonna ride out the setup I have now for the rest of the stream. Really wish I would have turned the difficulty down a little bit because it's a little difficult to keep up with the cars and get into the right position that I need to, unless I'm like perfect with the drafting right now because I have the difficulty turned up a little too high. I don't want to exit out and start up a new qualifying session, because then I know Rusty Wallace won't be near the front. I know the 66 won't be right there too. I know Dale Earnhardt won't be in the front row. So that's why I want to keep it where it's at right now. Well, speaking of accidental, sorry, Kyle. Man, he does not have good luck at Daytona coming out of the tri-oval, does he?
Start your engines.
Just trying to get some bump drafting going on there. Instead, I accidentally hooked him. So as expected, I haven't gotten any close attempts in this one. This is one of those ones where lots of different factors have to come together even just to get a halfway decent attempt, let alone a good one. Sorry, 66. Alright, so you got a little demonstration right there of what I'm hoping. I did not mean to do that. But a little demonstration of what I'm hoping happens to Rusty Wallace when we're at full speed on the backstretch right there. So he'll maybe start tumbling like that. God damn it. Another wasted attempt.
Drivers, start your engines.
By the way, is the quality good for everyone, video and audio wise? It's nice and crisp, coming through 60 frames. Is the audio levels good? I can't tell, because my laptop sucks that I used to preview the stream, so if there's any choppiness, I can't tell if it's dropping frames or if it's just the laptop buffering and just being slow in general. And as you can see, I don't have any audio monitoring right now. The only audio I have is just my game audio coming out of my speakers, which I can't hear how loud my microphone is in relation to it. Excuse me. Alright, not so fast, Rusty. You weren't exactly leading when the wreck happened. You were like in 5th or 6th. Except if I try to go like this and get in front of him and get on the outside this way, then he's going to be trapped on the outside line too. Case in point. Unless I just make it 3 wide and hope he can squeeze somewhere back into the inside line. Except now I'm going too slow and miss my chance to be alongside of him on the outside. I'll try one more time. One more lap. Rusty to stay right there. I'm going to slingshot around on the outside. God damn it, he flipped too early. We got double flips there with the 21. Triple flips with me. Terrible wreck in turns 1 and 2. What the hell just happened to Rusty? He kind of pulled a Ricky Craven-ish. Well, he definitely pulled a Ricky Craven in that he had a bunch of cars going underneath him. Well, if anyone's going to have a rough ride at a super speedway in the early 90s, it might as well be Rusty. Let's take another look at that. I want to see this from the 66's point of view. Well, there's a view. Actually, I just want to randomly save that one. I don't know why. Let's see what his brother saw going underneath him. Kenny Wallace. As cool as that was, unfortunately, it wasn't what we needed. Alright, next attempt.
Drivers, start your engines.
As much as I don't want to say it, this is probably going to be the last attempt. Sorry for not giving more warning, but yeah, I need to get going soon. I do work tonight. Unfortunately, I have a few things I need to do beforehand. So let's hope we can get Rusty to cooperate. Get on the inside line, but not be going too fast where I can get alongside of him. At least we know the cars can roll over from touching tires like I planned at the level the chassis grip is set at currently. I was worried that I had it a little too low. Let's actually see if he ducks in on behind me right after I pass him. Will he? Nope, because he's dumb. He had a chance to. You have all the room in the world, Rusty. Move to the inside line. There you go. Thank you. Except now he's in the middle. And now he's going too fast and he's going to pass me. Oh, you bastard. Well, I guess if there's going to be a last attempt, killing the pace car would be it. Wish I had better luck on this one. I knew I was going to be a little rusty on my first stream back from a couple weeks. See a replay of that. And the 14 goes for a crazy ride. As you can see in the foreground right at the bottom of your screen. Terry Labonte. Gets sent over by Mark Martin. Nice glitch at the bottom of the screen right there. Alright, I'll do one wrong way wreck and then I gotta go.
Start your engine.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you happen to stumble upon these videos and enjoy them. If you want notifications for future live streams, if you subscribe, immediately after you do so, you'll see a little bell button right next to the subscribe. If you hit that one, then you'll get notifications for future live streams. I really appreciate all the support from all you guys. Thank you so much. And like always, if you have suggestions for future videos, be sure to leave them down in the comments. It's much easier for me to... I know a lot of you are watching this live right now, but it's much easier for me to see the suggestions when you actually put them in the published comments versus just the live chat. And then you can upvote each other's suggestions, which ones you'd like to see, etc. Trying to think of anything else. Alright, so we're going to do one wrong way one. So we're going to slow down and come flying through pit road like we usually do. Gonna wait a couple seconds before gunning it. Alright, just waiting. Give him a little chance to get up to speed.
You've been disqualified for reckless driving. Watch that speed now.
There we go. I got Ernie, I believe. And they all come piling in. I think I only missed a couple cars there.
The pace cars in turn one.
I think I only missed a couple.
Looks like we lost that motor.
Yeah, no crap. Let's follow Ernie. There's a couple we missed. But technically speaking, Rusty and Terry was involved. Then the only ones that really got through unscathed was like Dale Jarrett right there. That was almost a full car or a full field wreck. That's what I meant to say. Almost a full field wreck. As Ricky Rudd goes tumbling across the tri-oval twice. Alright guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your suggestions in the comments. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet already. Thanks for all the support from each and every one of you. I should be back tomorrow if I have time. If not, definitely the next day. So like I said, I really apologize for being a little on and off with my reliability as of recent. I've just been trying to do these whenever I have some free time around all my work. I hope you guys understand that. Thank you so much if you do, and thanks so much for all the support again. Until I see you next time, that is it. Thanks again, guys. See you later. Peace.